In this video, we'll be laying this patch panel out using this flexible pattern. So let's get at it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jameson's Repair Shop. We're back on the 65 Thunderbird convertible. Just do a little catch up on this quarter panel, because if you want to know about the rest of the car, I have videos on all of it. This quarter panel, just to catch you up, I took the half of the inner wheelhouse out, and I have that rebuilt, ready to go back in. There's there's a filler piece right above the leaf spring, and then beside that is the wheelhouse extension will have to go on. The wheelhouse extension goes in and meets the quarter panel. Oh, by the way, I did this piece. It's ready to be welded on, but first there's some work to do in behind it. Not much, just a little bit. This needs to be finished. This is an upper wheel arch for the outer quarter panel, for the quarter panel. It needs finished welding on both sides, but it's fitting nicely. So now what this is, I'll get back to this again, this is called a flexible pattern. So when I had the hardtop in here, the hardtop had a quarter panel put on it at some point in time, and it had only had a couple small rust holes in it. So I fixed the quarter panel, and then I took some tape and I made a flexible pattern for it. So the flexible pattern is great because this is off, this was off. This is the back side, the mirror side of it, because this came off the right-hand side. And because it's flexible, you can flip it over. And I redid the lines on this side and do the left side with it. So this is a pattern I can hang on to forever. Now to go with that pattern, there's a whole bunch of these gauges. So every one of these gauges correspond to a number on this pattern. So right here, this is a number 4. So it will go on like that. And what is this one? Number 6. So number 6 goes up here, and it fits over that V. So when you put them on, so you put it in place, and that's how that quarter panel, your sheet metal should look when it's done. So you get a whole series of these along here. Now these are cardboard, and Beverly, my wife Beverly, she does laser work, so she's offered to transfer these into plywood for me, like thin plywood, like 1/8 plywood or so, and that'll be great because they'll be permanent. And then she'll laser etch all the numbers in it. So we'll get that done in time. For now, we're working with the cardboard ones. So what I need to do right now to get this project going, instead of talking, I'm gonna go grab a piece of steel. I'll measure this up. What do we got here? We'll just measure it quickly. We're running from this, so this template or this flexible pattern is exactly the size of the quarter panel, just to point that out, with all the bulges and everything. So that's with over top, it actually fits the finished product. So in theory, all I need is, when I lay this flat out on the steel, is from here to here and from here to here, the lengthwise. So I'll just give it a measure. I'm gonna make it a little oversized. So I need something about 43, so I may as well make it 48 inches because it's 48-inch piece of steel wide. And where's the longest, deepest part is right about here, and it's 1 foot. So I'm gonna make that 14 inches at least. I got a piece of steel cut. I cut it 15 inches. It's 15 by 48. Just giving this a little clean. Okay, I've got it cleaned up. And now we run into another problem. The problem is my brake is only 3 feet long. And this piece right here is 39 inches. So the brake is only 36 inches. So I think that's why the last time I made this panel, I made it from this line down. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll take this off and we'll just start at this line and work our way down. Now you'll use the factory edge of the steel too. So I'll get this off of here. What have we got here? Well, I wanted to do the factory edge, so we'll do it this way. So I want to put that line right on the factory edge. I'm going to leave it just a shade long. And I'm going to trace this all out, and I'm going to leave it wide. Where did my marker go? Very good. And before I cut it out, I should put marks where I want to return it to. So I want to be able to return this right to where I had it. Got it done. I actually went around off camera and just did a rough line of the actual pattern as well, just to make sure I don't get off track with it. Magnets out of there. And I can set this pattern aside for now, and I'll just do a cut on the outside. We got it cut out, put that steel aside, and I'm going to clamp it on there because I want to put a couple of clecos in it. So I'll get it where I kind of think it needs to be. Now I used the cleco, I marked the cleco holes that I used on the other Thunderbird, but I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use new ones. So I need one out here, and one there, and one there, and one there. That's what I'm going to start with. So let's do this one first. And I know I have good metal to work with there. So I'm just using the 1/8 drill bit for the cleco. I need more of these copper color ones. You don't have to drill a very big hole. So that's good there. And actually, since there's a bit of tension on it here, I'm going to put a cleco in right here. Steal another cleco. Maybe this guy right here, he's close. So now I'll put a couple more in, but now I can always return the panel back to where it needs to be. Perfect for a start. So the body line goes in a bit and then down and a wrap around. So it's not a flat surface. And then it goes back. Like I said, there's an arch here. It wraps around. And this is where it hits the body line, and then this goes right around and meets the rear valance. This is a straight line to about here, and then this will wrap around, but it'll also be curved under. So this area here, and I already have a piece left in there, but this area here is where it's going to take most of the work. Put all the little templates or the little gauges flat there, and you can kind of see how this works. So the number 7 is the one closest to the wheel. It's got more of a curve in it. This one's starting to a little bit more curve, and that's number 6. And then number 5 it's got a little bit left in it. By the time it gets to number 4, which is back here somewhere, it's almost flat here. It'd be a curve like this, a little less there, and then almost flat there, and then it starts going that way. I'm going to take it down off here now, and we're going to lay it back out. I'm going to put magnets on this time, right off the start. So we'll get the magnets lined up. So the last time when I did use this pattern, I didn't need slits here. But so I just took a minute or two to put some slits in so I can mark up this metal below that line that's there. But I just want to get these back on as close as we can. So having all these extra lines are nice because you can realign them. And this one we know it aligns at the top. Magnets, they're your friend. Yep, it's right on the line. Like so. Just little gaps so it can do the line. So we know the top and bottom have lines like so. And then we have the line at the top as well. Because once we take this pattern off to put the gauges where they need to go, it won't be so easy to see them. So now I got to find those cleco holes. So let me get that done. There. And there was one right here. Oh yeah, I see it now. There's another one right there. And the last one is right there. Good. All right, so I put it back up there just for demonstration. So we know that line, that body line is right on the top of the steel. And that's our finish line and that's wraps right around. I put a couple of clecos in to hold it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it down and start marking these. This line here, because this is where it needs to be stretched because it has to wrap around. So if you can see that, when this wraps around, that will change how this baggie is. So what the idea is that when it's ready, there will be no bagginess in that. And the same is up in here, some of this stuff. Like this is a little bit loose here because we need to go in and then wrap it around. So it needs to go in tighter and then it'll more like that. So we need to bring it back down and put all these lines on the actual metal and then start gauging it. So we know that this body line right here is square with these lines. So all I need to do now is to join them up. And they should line up square. And I'm gonna number them. So this is number 6 right there, and this will be number 5. Number 4. You guys get the idea. That's why we clean the metal too. And we'll do number 7 while we're here. Now this one here is going to be a little bit tougher until we start measuring with the gauges, because you can see how it's not working out. It's because it's all puckered on the pattern. But we'll put a couple of lines in and call it number 2. So we're roughly in that area. That's all you're trying to do is find the spot to put that gauge back on. Now, this line here, I called this line number 1. Now, I have to measure down from here on the pattern. I forget what it is. I thought I had it measured. Yes, I did. On the other side. So that line is 4 inches down. So you can see that there. So there is information on the other side of this pattern. So 4 inches down from the body line. So that's what we're doing, and it goes back to number 4, as far back as number 4. And then now we can line those all up. Use the other line as a square, because everything should be squared up here. So that one there is, let me look for it. Yeah, this one here is number 1. And I'm going to call it number 1. So there we know. And number 1, when they put it on, if you can see that, this is the one that comes around, and I'll show you over here on the car. So number 1 is the one that goes like this. It'll meet the valance, right? So there it is. We laid this patch panel out using a flexible pattern. And I'm sure glad that I salvaged this off of the old 65 Thunderbird hardtop when I did. There's a lot of shape in these. So next video, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be shaping this panel, and I want to use as much as I can very basic tools to shape this patch panel. And I really appreciate the people that have taken the time out of their day to sit and watch a half-hour video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll get on to the forming of that patch panel in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you later.